from the kid, whether you got hard or not. I mean, what makes you think you're so special? You don't know Sonny. I don't have to know. I know how he thinks. You fucked up. He'll hurt you like anybody. Look, Sonny, trust me. I can't trust anybody. The sooner you know that, the better. How many times do I have to tell you? People don't respect him. They fear him. It's a big difference. You want to be somebody? Be somebody who works for a living and takes care of his family. Yeah, you look away.
All right, buongiorno. Let's get right to business. Good morning, mob stories. Money is time. Time is money. And I just got enough time to make a little money. So let's get right into business. Peter Gotti. The feds ain't showing no love, okay? The feds aren't feeling much compassion for Peter Gotti. The 79-year-old former Gambino boss begged for a compassionate release earlier this summer, asking to be sprung 17 years into his 25-year sentence due to medical issues, including an enlarged prostate, gastric reflux, and early onset dementia. Peter Gotti says he's sorry for his life of crime and wants to make amends by preaching against the mob way of life. That's just fine, says the feds, but he should do it from prison or a prison hospital, not from home. The mob boss isn't sick enough, old enough, and hasn't been behind bars long enough to qualify for an early release. In their 19-page filing, the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office notes that Gotti did not claim a terminal incurable disease with a life expectancy of 18 months or less, or that he was completely disabled and unable for any self-care in his compassionate release application to the Bureau of Prisons in his court filings, the two main categories for compassionate release. On top of that, Assistant U.S. Attorney Jun Zhang argues that even if Gotti, 79, did suffer a terminal illness or another debilitated medical condition, he would remain a substantial danger to the community, who deserve to remain behind bars because as a high-ranked Gambino mobster, he could command others to engage in acts of violence for him. That's what Gotti did back in 1999, Zhang wrote, when as acting family boss, he ordered two underlings to hunt down and kill turncoat underboss Disgraciad Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano for testifying against the late John Gotti, the defendant's brother and former boss of the family. While that's accurate, it's unlikely that if released, Brother Peter would be much of a threat. Ailments aside, he has had no clout whatsoever with the family since he's publicly renounced a criminal lifestyle that led to his two racketeering convictions, including the 25-year sentence that the Bureau of Prisons say he began serving for the Gravano murder plot in 2010. In his filing, Gotti lawyer James Craven wrote that his client does not try to justify his actions or defend his choices he made that brought him to prison, and that his years behind bars has caused him to reevaluate his thinking and reconsider more moral values. All right. Yeah, jail will break you down, man. The filing never mentioned Gotti's late mafia brother or his hard-nosed wise guy brother Gene, but it was clear in the filing that Peter was out of step with them and more in step with his nephew John A. Jr. Gotti, who publicly disavowed his father's crime family back in 2005. As turncoat Gambino capo Mikey Scars Di Leonardo, Disgracia, said 2 months ago when he disclosed Gotti's court filing, the crime family would be hard-pressed not to depose Gotti and relieve him of all his rights and responsibilities as a wise guy, an assessment that is shared by sources on both sides of the law. If they do it the right way, the captains will take a vote and take him down and put him on a shelf, said Di Leonardo, adding, they have to do that. He's doing the same thing that John Jr. Gotti did. He's quitting the mob. In the government's filing, prosecutor Zhang wrote Gotti was not entitled to a reduction in sentence because neither his medical condition nor his age qualified as extraordinary and compelling reasons for release, as they must. While many of the ailments Gotti cited in his papers, including gout, arthritis, gastric reflux, hearing loss, vision impairment, and an enlarged prostate may affect his quality of life, Zhang wrote. None qualified as extraordinary and compelling. That's because Gotti does not have a terminal illness with the end of life trajectory, wrote Zhang, such as a metastatic solid tumor cancer, ALS, end stage organ disease, and advanced dementia. The prosecutor also disputed Gotti claims that he has a likely cancerous growth in at least one of his lungs. You gotta check that out. While Gotti is over 65, the minimum age required for release, he does not meet the second or third conditions that are required by provisions for the First Step Act, Zhang wrote. The government also questioned whether Gotti has changed his thinking and reconsidered his moral values. Zhang asserted that Peter has never owned up to his role as acting boss of the Gambino family or even existence of the Gambino family, his role in conspiring to murder Gravano, or his role in siphoning millions of dollars away from the construction industry. Craven, who voiced confidence about his client's release back in July, said that he had won 8 or 9 prior motions and was confident he'd prevail in his appeal of the case he had lost. Declined to comment about the government's reply, and associates said Craven would file a response with the court. All right, so feds say, Peter Gotti, you want to preach about staying away from the mob? Do it behind bars. Again, you know where I lie. Fuck the feds. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Have a good morning. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't be shy. Ruckus Radio. We poppin'.